Now, we do our segment every week, Buzzer Beaters. You went first last week, James. Do you still want to go first? I'll give you the option.
I'll let you take this one.
All right. This isn't really pro sports related, but I'm going to take this one anyway. I started reading a book. Yeah, figure that out. I actually read books.
You read?
Hey, I read Sports Illustrated and ESPN. This is a book.
Hashtag lame.
I started reading the book on Chris Benoit's death and really his lifestyle. It's called Ring of Hell. It's going to be a movie in 2012. I suggest anyone who's even started to read this book, or even thought about reading this book, or is even interested in the pro wrestling industry, read it. I'm only about 40 pages into it, and it is probably one of the best books I've read. It's the most descriptive by far. And if you really want to understand, what Chris Benoit went through, whether you couldn't stand the fact of what he did, whether you loved him as a wrestler, you got to understand the lifestyle that he went through and the culture that was around him. That it's not entirely his fault. And yes, he did, no one else can be blamed for the murders, but the fact that he had an 85-year-old Alzheimer patient's brain in a 40-year-old man's body, it's got to have something to do with it. So read it, understand the culture, and it's really helped understand, from my perspective, the idea of concussions, not only in pro wrestling, but in sports. Beat the buzzer.
Beat the buzzer. No, I'll completely agree with that, being a pro wrestling fan. But my buzzer beater this week is not going to be about pro wrestling, but it's going to be about a very similar subject, and that's concussions. We hear so much about the leagues nowadays trying to protect their players as much as possible. And you've seen the NFL and the NHL take a huge step in trying to protect a lot of their players, and even to an extent, Major League Baseball with players getting hit in the head. But mostly it's the NHL and the NFL. And, just like Tim Tebow is a really solid football player, Sidney Crosby is a phenomenal hockey player. And he took a hit last weekend, and he is suffering from post-concussion syndrome, post-concussion symptoms, and it's sad to see a player as talented as him have to sit on the sidelines because one solid hit and he's done for an extended amount of time until these concussions go away. Mark Savard, one of my favorite players of all time in the NHL, center for the Boston Bruins, it has to retire because he can't shake his post-concussion symptoms. It's a huge problem in sports right now, and I just really hope that sometime soon we have the technology and the medical wherewithal to be able to diagnose them as quickly as possible and to treat them in whatever way possible so that these guys can go back to living normal lives, even if they can't play. But it's a real shame to see phenomenal players like that have their careers significantly shortened because of concussions.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to do it for the end of the week. Catch us on The Catalyst. James has written this week, I've written this week. We're going to probably write again. It's been a big couple weeks in sports.
Yep.
Try to catch up on everything. Follow us on Twitter. I'm Chinsky_824. You're, I believe, Jay Harding?
Jay Harding _89. And follow us here on the press box at the Catalyst _PB. And if you have a question or a comment, email us. It could be nice. It could be mean. We don't care. We just want feedback. We'll take it. It's pressbox2011@gmail.com. And so, Anthony, I took us out last week, so I'll let you take us out this week.
Well, there's really not much to say. It's the end of the show. Follow it, like it, retweet it, send it to everyone you know. We appreciate all the help. See you all next week.